Hi everybody, today we're going to have a look at the electrics on the California Ocean model. So this is the electrics in the vehicle, so the leisure batteries, and also when you actually plug into your mains electricity from a campsite as well. We covered this before quite a few years ago, but some things have changed. Some of the way the lights work has changed. That's there, so just thought we'd do a recap on that as well, and obviously just bring it up to date. Obviously with the new model, the 6.1 coming out, it will be slightly different again, but most of the things that I'm showing you today is all still the same in that model anyway. So first things first, I suppose, is talking about when you're in your off power main, so when you're off grid effectively. You've got two leisure batteries on the vehicle. One is under the passenger seat. You can't really gain access to that without actually taking the seat out to have a look at underneath there, and the second one is in the rear of the vehicle. Again, both these batteries are maintenance free, you don't have to do anything with them, but obviously it's much more so you know where they are if anybody was ever to ask, or if you needed to get access to them at any point to change them or anything like that. And then I'll talk you through when you plug into the side, which gives you the 240 volts on board, so when you're at a campsite or you're at home or anything like that as well. We'll just look at the benefits of that. So the second leisure battery, as I said, is located in the rear of the vehicle, as we can see from under here. So it's actually in here, there's a leisure battery. You'll notice, you probably recognise that if you've got a California, if you see them. Easiest way, 50p piece, just pop it in there, and that will allow you then to twist it to remove it. As I said, these batteries, they are maintenance free, so you don't actually need to do anything with them, but it's just more a case of you know that's where it is. You know, some customers have got solar panels for their vehicles, and those usually then, if you have it wired in profession, they usually wire them into the system. So in the actual vehicle itself now, as I said, the other leisure battery is under the passenger seat. It's only accessible really if you take off the actual seat itself. You can get to a panel at the back, but there's nothing really to see there until you've actually lifted off to get access, but you don't really need access to that as a normal everyday use or anything like that. So those two leisure batteries work everything that's in the vehicle, so they run your fridge, run your heating system, they run all of your lights that's in the vehicle. So we've got your pop-up lights here along your vehicle, also as well your roof lights as well, which are in your roof section, which, as I said in a previous video as well, if you don't know, if you press and hold these lights, they become darker and brighter. If you've got one of the latest Ocean models, you'll also have your lights, your strip lights as well underneath here, which you can probably just about see with my hand there. And again, these dim and up dim, so your covered lights, wardrobe lights as well. Also powered off there as well is all of your 12 volt sockets. So these are the sockets which are from what we class as the B pillar, so here backwards. So we have one on the side panel here, and there's also one just tucked underneath where the bottle holder is, that's by the seat. Anything from here forward, so things that are 12 volts on your dash, they run off your car battery, which obviously then that can deplete on this particular model if you have things plugged into there as well. So use the plugs that you hear backwards on the Ocean model on the T6, and then you'll be fine with those as well. And the last thing which actually controls that as well is your inverter. Now we've done a section on the inverter before. The inverter is located down here. You pull the catch up, and it's a 2-pin socket which you plug into there, and that gives you, it up jumps your battery, so your leisure battery takes power from those and ups them to 240 volts, but you've got a maximum of 150 watts. So in reality terms, 150 watts is not a huge amount. You couldn't run, for example, a kettle or anything like that using that kind of power unless it was a very low wattage one, admittedly, but it's very good. I tend to use it for things like plugging my laptop in, charging things that want to charge a bit quicker, say an iPad and things like that as well. One of the best travel adapters I've found, a bit of a plug here for Camper Fantastic, but on their website, I think it's about £23, which does sound a lot for a travel adapter, but it's the perfect size. It goes in there, clips in into the side. It's the same diamond shape as you'll see on the clip from on there as well, and it just holds it nice, and that gives you a 13 amp socket. So if you are going to be what the class is off-grid, so you're not going to be connected to a campsite for a while and you want to have that facility, my advice would be to get one of those, and you can just plug it straight in, and as it says, it up jumps it then to 240 volts, but up to that 150 watt maximum level. And finally, I suppose the last thing those batteries do as well, actually I forgot about, quite an important one, is the roof. So the roof's electric, it works off the leisure batteries, so you're not using the power from your engine battery and to raise it and lower the roof. You do need to have the keys in the ignition and the ignition turned on, for that system to actually activate and for it to work, but it does use those batteries for those. One of the biggest drains on the battery, so I've been told, not experienced it myself, is the heating system that's on here, because the fans use quite a bit of electricity from those fans to actually push the air around the vehicle. When I've been away for weekends and things, it's never been a problem, never run out of power or anything like that, but I believe they're the biggest draws that are on there as well. So also powered by those leisure batteries is the fridge, which is the big one that's on there. Now the fridge, power wise, people have asked a lot, how long does that power last for, how long can the fridge work for that's in there. Again, I've never been off grid or never not started the vehicle for a week, but I was informed at one time that the fridge will run off the leisure batteries for a week with the actual power which is in the batteries. Now I'm thinking if you're away in the winter and you've got your heater on and you've got all your lights on and you've got the fridge on full as well, I'm thinking probably the week's probably pushing it, to be perfectly honest. But you tell me in the comments, any of your owners out there, whether that's the case or not. I know for myself, when I've been away for long weekends, usually I think the longest I've ever stayed is probably 2 nights when I've not actually moved the vehicle. I've never had any issues with battery usage on the fridge or anything like that. Plugging into the side of the vehicle, it does 2 things. It charges the batteries, and it also gives you a 240 volt outlet, and that gives you up to 2,500 watts in there. So that's when you can run things like a kettle that's in there. You can have a toaster in the vehicle as well.